Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. The Sustainable Resources and Waste Management Bill 2025 was passed today in Dun, Sarawak, with all 24 members present supporting the bill and no opposition, paving the way for a dedicated authority to regulate and advance the state's waste-to-wealth agenda. The bill will grant full authority over waste segregation, collection, treatment, recycling and disposal. Deputy Premier Dr. Amar Douglas Ugahamba states the framework is designed to maximize the potential of waste and biomass in Sarawak, creating new economic opportunities while strengthening environmental governance.
I wish to reiterate that this bill marks an important step in strengthening Sarawak's commitment in managing its sustainable resources and waste efficiently, effectively, in line with one of the strategic thrusts of PCDS 2030, which is an environmental sustainability, by setting up the Sustainable Resource and Waste Management Authority. Thank you, Dr. Speaker. This bill also provides a clear institutional framework for a thriving circular economy that benefit not only our industry, but also safeguard our own environmental resources. With this bill, we're not only addressing existing gap in the Sustainable Resource and Waste Management framework, but also preparing Sarawak to meet the international standard and demand with the ever-changing international green economic landscape.
Uga adds that studies have indicated that Sarawak possesses the potential to generate up to 1,330 megawatts of renewable energy from sustainable sources, including agricultural waste, forest biomass, municipal waste, and animal waste. The bill, Uga says, will allow for a more structured approach to waste management, including the creation of special zones to collect and utilize waste on a large scale for green energy production. Additionally, the bill aligns with the waste-to-wealth concept, transforming waste from a burden into a valuable economic resource. The new authority will ensure compliance with waste management standards while creating opportunities for investments in green technologies such as bioenergy plants and industrial recycling. This initiative is expected to elevate Sarawak's sustainability agenda in addition to setting the state as an international example for sustainable waste management.
Sarawak continues to enjoy more success in fighting for its right under MA 63. More recently, the Deputy Minister in the Premier's Department for Law, MA 63 and State-Federal Relations, Dato' Sharifah Hasidah Said Aman Ghazali, reveals Sarawak has resolved 11 demands. This success, she says, is attributed to continued negotiations between the state and federal governments through official channels, including the MA 63 Action Council.
As to date, 11 key areas that have been resolved are: 1. Handing over of regulatory authority for liquefied petroleum gas LPG to the Sarawak government through Petros. 2. Amendment to Article 1 Bracket 2 of the Federal Constitution, restoring Sarawak equal state partners in the formation of Malaysia in line with MA 63. 3. Amendment to the interpretation of the term federation under Article 160 Bracket 2. 4. Amendment to Article 161A to provide full authority to the Sarawak government to define the term native more comprehensively and inclusively.
At the same time, she informed the August House that several matters related to MA 63 have also been agreed to in principle and are progressing towards the implementation phase. However, several key issues still require further discussion between both parties, she added.
Sarawak recorded 44 bullying cases involving children and teenagers between January and October 2025, according to the latest data from the police. Deputy Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Dr. Rosie Yunus, stresses that the figure warrants immediate and firm action from both the state government and the community to curb bullying and social misconduct at schools.
Data obtained from the Royal Malaysian Police recorded that a total of 44 bullying cases in Sarawak from January to October this year.
Rosie said this in response to a question at the Dun sitting, stressing that the government is enhancing a whole-of-community and whole-of-agency approach to address bullying and other school misconduct. She added that preventive efforts, including disciplinary workshops, the No Bully campaign, regular police briefings and town halls with parents and school leaders are currently being implemented. She said these interventions are in line with the PCDS 2030 target of a safe and resilient community.
Shah Alam High Court sentenced 40-year-old unemployed man Mohammed Badruddin Mohammed to 30 years imprisonment and 13 strokes of the cane after he pleaded guilty to the death and sexual assault of a 9-month-old infant under his wife's care 4 years ago. Judge Dato Aslam Zainuddin handed down the sentence after 2 charges were read in court. The sexual assault charge carried 10 years jail and 1 stroke, while the charge of causing the infant's death carried 30 years jail and 12 strokes. These sentences are to run concurrently from the date of his arrest on April 29, 2021.
Forensic tests confirmed Badruddin's DNA was found on samples taken from the infant. A post-mortem by Dr. Rohayu Shahar Adnan of Sungai Buloh Hospital also confirmed blunt force injuries to the victim's anal area and smothering as the cause of death. Tears and bruising consistent with sexual abuse were also noted. The court heard that on the day of the incident, the babysitter, Nur Hidayah Abdul Hamid, informed the child's mother that the infant had been rushed to the hospital after becoming unresponsive. Despite resuscitation, the baby was pronounced dead at 12:18 p.m. on April 28, 2021. Badruddin was charged with murder under Section 302 of the Penal Code, which carried the mandatory death penalty at the time. He also faced a charge of carnal intercourse against the order of nature under Section 377C, to which he later pleaded guilty. DPP Shahrul Ihsan Hasim urged the court to impose the maximum penalty, emphasizing the severity of the offence and the infant's vulnerability. The accused was represented by defence counsel Azizul Shariman and was first charged at Petaling Jaya Magistrates Court on May 12 in 2021.
There are 8 depots of disaster basic necessities in several states that act as a supply storage for areas that might be cut off when disaster strikes. Social Welfare Department JKM Director General Datuk Che Murad Sayang Ramjan says that JKM has 11 state stores and 119 district stores, 65 mini depots and 562 forward bases in the country.
Depots are located in Bedong Kedah, Muar Johor, Sungai Buloh Selangor, Marang Terengganu, Kemumin Pangkalan Cepa Kelantan, Kuantan Pahang, Kota Semarahan Sarawak and Kota Kinabalu in Sabah. The department has 5,789 officers and personnel stationed at relief centres in the country, in addition to 5,744 department volunteers stationed there. At the moment, several states have activated relief centres to house flood evacuees, and every state department director have been contacted to secure the latest information. He also informed that the department received 50,000 units of food in retort packs prepared by the National Disaster Management Agency NADMA for distribution to flood evacuees at relief centres.
On to world news. The Indonesian Navy is preparing to deploy around 5,000 personnel as part of a proposed 20,000-strong peacekeeping force for the Gaza Strip. Local report has confirmed that approximately 25% of the requested personnel are being selected for the mission. These selected individuals will have medical and construction engineering expertise to assist in humanitarian efforts, treat war victims, and build temporary facilities in Gaza. Additionally, the force will include 3 composite brigades, along with medical and engineering battalions, support units, and mechanized elements. The deployment will proceed once an advanced team has assessed the situation on the ground and identified suitable locations for the mission. Amnesty International has accused Sudan's paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces RSF, of committing war crime in El Fasher, Darfur. The rights group claimed that the RSF action, including executions and sexual violence, have been facilitated by support from the United Arab Emirates UAE.
The RSF, which has begun fighting Sudan's regular army since April 2023, took control of the El Fasher in late October, marking the last major city in Darfur to fall under their control. The conflict pits General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan's army against RSF leader Mohamed Daglo, his former deputy. Amnesty's report details testimonies from 28 survivors, including accounts of summary executions and rape. The rights group labeled the violence as war crimes and called for accountability. It also urged the international community to pressure the UAE to stop supporting the RSF, as the UAE has been accused of supplying the group with weapons, fuel and manpower, a claim Abu Dhabi denies. One survivor described how she and her daughter were raped by RSF fighters as they fled Al Fasher, with her daughter later dying in a refugee camp. Another witness said the RSF killed civilians indiscriminately, with no armed soldiers among the victims. Amnesty's report highlights the ongoing failure of international mediation efforts to end the violence, as both sides seek military advantage. On Sunday, Burhan rejected a ceasefire proposal from the US-led Quad group, while the RSF declared a unilateral 3-month ceasefire on Monday in response to international pressure.
واستجابة للجهود الدولية المبذولة وعلى رأسها مبادرة فخامة الرئيس الأمريكي دونالد ترامب ومساعي الدول الرباعية والاتحاد الأفريقي والإيجاد، نعلن الآتي: أولاً، إعلان هدنة إنسانية تشمل وقف الأعمال العدائية لمدة 3 أشهر.
On to economic news, Nam Cheong has reached another significant milestone, receiving the Edge Centurion Club 2025 award in the industrialist category for its impressive post-tax profit growth in the sector. Executive Chairman of Nam Cheong, Tan Sri Dato' Tiong Su Pok, said this recognition underscores the company's strong financial performance over the past 3 years, marking a remarkable recovery from the downturn that affected the industry.
He further stated that the award validates the success of the company's recovery strategy, which was initiated following the global oil price collapse in 2014. This downturn significantly impacted the shipbuilding industry and Nam Cheong's operation. Despite the challenges, he said the company chose to persevere and adapt, evolving through one of the toughest periods in its history.
人就是说一定有一个展望，才有未来。我希望我的年龄已经85了，我也希望说年轻人多参与，多有归属感，把我们马来西亚做大做强，给大家有一个共同的目标，这是我们的愿望。
According to Tiong, to ensure sustainability in the industry, Nam Cheong implemented strategic changes by shifting from shipbuilding to ship leasing, thus building one of the largest and youngest offshore support vessel OSV fleets in Malaysia. Currently, Nam Cheong operates 38 vessels, serving the oil and gas, renewable energy and subsea engineering sectors, and around 60% of the company's fleet is under long-term contracts, ensuring stable and sustainable revenue. In addition to operating in Asia, the company has delivered over 150 vessels to the Middle East, Europe, Africa, and Latin America.
Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.